yes. This story is my, no, yeah.
It's the same story.
Yes, yes, the same, yes. Actually, this story is my relevant also. It's okay. Who knows this person? His name? What's his name?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek, yes. He's my second cousin. He's a Hollywood actor, and he played Pharaoh in the night at the museum, and Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, you know it? And this person is really Pharaoh. Not Pharaoh? Okay. And we will discuss bread in ancient Egypt. Is who invented bread? What kind of bread did ancient Egyptians eat? What is Egyptian bread made of? What is aish baladi? It's aish, but it's aish in our pronunciation. How was Egyptian bread made? What kind of bread did ancient Egyptians eat? Okay, who invented the bread or bread? About 8,000 before Christ, the first grinding stone was made or invented in Egypt in on the River Nile, the shore of River Nile. Do you know the importance of this milestone, grinding stone? In this picture, the seeds were put from the above hole. Then this grinding stone is rotating to grind the seeds. You know, this is separation, the first separation process made in history. And it was done in Egypt before 10,000 years. And commercially, the first yeast production of bread dates back to the skilled bread makers of ancient Egypt around 300 BC. It's because, as we know, the yeast bread is relevantly new, recent, but it's because if we convert it to 1000 before Christ, but it's 300 also. Compared to us, it's old, because every person believe or think that we didn't know yeast before Louis Pasteur. So the earliest grains would have been ground by hand with rocks, as we see in this second tablet, the second picture. We see this bread. It's grinded by hand. It was have been ground by hand with rocks. This would have resulted in coarse, whole grain bread. Okay, what kind of bread did ancient Egyptians eat? The variety of wheat used for the this ancient bread making is called emmer. This kind of wheat is called emmer, also known as farro. Not farro with the farro, but it's some kind of plants. This was one of the first crops domesticated in Egypt and surrounding regions, and closer to the wild varieties than the wheat we consume today. What was Egyptian bread made of? Bread, the staple food in the Egyptian diet, along with the bread flakes. The beer was made, because we have a very significant link between beer and bread. And also Egyptians, as we see in this picture, Egyptians introduced the bread with beer, as long as with beer, this same picture, because they are also linked in their production. They are with the bread flakes. The beer was made with barley. So the barley, Egyptians made the bread and beer as well from barley. was left to dry and then baked into loaves of bread. The baked barley loaves were then broken into pieces and mixed with dried grain in a large jug of water and left to ferment. So this is first process of making bread in history. We have also significance in afterlife. We have bread in Egypt's afterlife. This king is called Menhotep, or in Arabic pronunciation, Menhotep. So it's, and also in ancient Egyptian pronunciation is Menhotep. This person, this king was a very great king in the history, and his temple and his mummy was found in this temple in this picture. We can find it in Luxor in southern Egypt, and this is a very dry place. The